Hello and welcome, I'm BasicXP. This is Game Pass of the Week, my weekly show where I talk about what I'm playing in Game Pass. And this week's game is Flynn, Son of Crimson, published by Humble Games, as you might be sensing has become a theme, and developed by Studio Thunderhorse. Now, this is actually kind of a weird week for me because although I've quickly learned that Humble Games does not really publish bad games, and therefore, since their partnership with Game Pass, every time I see a Humble game in Game Pass, pretty quick to jump into it. And this is no exception. This one was actually kind of lower on my list just because this genre in general, 2D platformer, I'm just not a huge fan of it for some reason. It just doesn't grab me. Like, I'll play it for a bit and then I just kind of fall off. I don't know why that is exactly. It's just like a inherent personal bias that I can't really put into words. So take that with a grain of salt. But that being said, this was the game I picked for Game Pass of the Week. So it must be a standout. Because otherwise it probably wouldn't have even registered on the radar in terms of things that I would have liked to play. And it's interesting because at the beginning of this week there was many options, and I thought I was going to have a hard time fitting in playing everything I wanted to kind of consider for this week, but that really just didn't turn out to be the case. So I also played part of the Hitman 3 trilogy, and then I decided to actively avoid Rainbow Six Extraction because Ubisoft just can't help themselves in terms of being a garbage truck of a video game developer when it comes to NFTs, and that garbage truck right now is on fire, and I would rather just stay away from it than give it any attention. As for Hitman 3, it just I played it, and I understand why people would like it, but it just wasn't doing it for me. So I very quickly decided to not pursue that title any further than about a couple hours. And then I picked up Flynn, Son of Crimson, and interestingly enough, a genre that I again, typically don't really like, the 2D platformer. I really appreciated what they were doing here. I really appreciated kind of the Mega Man-esque flavor of things. It's just like the sprinkling of Metroidvania, Castlevania style mechanics, and sort of like the leveling tree system, the ability to kind of feel like you're making progress by gaining something like experience, which is actually like these red gems in the world, and then you run around and pick them up and then spend them to kind of bias towards your playstyle. All that is really cool, but I'm not really sure I'm going to finish the game. But it's still good. It's still the thing that when I've wanted to play something this week and I look at the list of things in Game Pass and what's come out and all options considered, it is still at the top. So I guess what I'm saying is, even in spite of my kind of 2D platform anti-bias or bias against, it is still far and away the best title that I played. And I really am at the point where if I see a game that Humble Games is making and it's coming to Game Pass, it's very high on the list. They don't publish bad games. They have a very good eye, and I'm glad they exist, and I'm glad the Humble Games partnership in Game Pass exists, because I'm not sure how many of these games I would have played if they had not been, especially this game, which I would have been like, oh, that looks really cool, but I'm probably not going to buy it because the genre doesn't speak to me. How many of the games like this I would just have never even registered? So just a quick recap, the things I played this week are Hitman 3, Flynn, Son of Crimson, and I actively avoided playing Rainbow Six Extraction by Ubisoft because Ubisoft, and this week's game was none other than Flynn, Son of Crimson. Next week, I have no idea what I'm going to play. So I've said at the end of these episodes, I'm going to talk about what I intend to play in the following week. And the answer to the question is, I do not know. As of right now, I have no idea what I'm going to play. And I'm kind of the mind that if I don't gravitate towards a title on a given week, I might not make a video, or I might make a video talking about what I played that isn't in Game Pass and why I played it instead of something in Game Pass. So if you like that idea, or if you played this game and want to talk about it down in the comments, please do. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you again next week.